fruit of the Loom says its registered logo has never contained a cornucopia. Yet people do not merely remember something behind the fruit. They picture the same curved basket, opening toward the cluster as if it belonged there. For many, the missing shape does not feel like a guess assembled after seeing an online comparison. It feels original, the version attached to old shirts, labels, and the first image their mind produces before the correction arrives. The surviving record still shows fruit without the cornucopia, and collective confidence cannot place it into that record. What needs explaining is the precision of the mistake. Why would separate memories keep filling the same empty space with the same absent object, instead of scattering across dozens of different backgrounds? Ordinary forgetting should produce messy, inconsistent answers. One person might remember a basket, another a leaf, another nothing at all. The harder pattern appears when separate people favor the same altered logo, the same changed quotation, the same spelling, or the same missing product detail. Their memories may differ around the edges, but they keep converging on one recognizable version with unusual confidence. Calling that an alternate timeline gives the discomfort a dramatic name, but it does not explain why the error takes a specific shape. A testable explanation has to show how separate minds can arrive at similar false details without assuming the remembered version once existed. First, though, the convergence itself has to survive outside online forums, where similar stories naturally collect together. If people still produce the same errors under controlled conditions, then the mystery is no longer just internet sorting. In 2022, the first peer-reviewed study built specifically around the visual Mandela Effect tested whether that convergence would survive controlled measurement. Participants saw familiar cultural images alongside altered versions, and their mistakes did not spread evenly across every possible option. Certain false images were selected again and again. Random confusion should have produced scatter, not repeated preference for the same alteration. A forced choice test still leaves one obvious objection. Perhaps the researchers created the error simply by placing a convincing wrong answer on the screen. The study separated that possibility from a second task. When participants drew familiar images from memory on a blank surface, some of the same characteristic false details appeared without any altered option in view. The pattern was therefore measurable in both recognition and spontaneous recall, even though not every image produced the same effect. Controlled testing confirmed that the convergence was real. It still could not explain what inside one memory guided the missing detail toward that particular answer. A memory is not retrieved by opening a preserved recording and playing it from the beginning. The mind rebuilds the event from whatever remains, fragments of detail, the meaning of the whole. Expectations about what belongs there, and information encountered afterward. Exact surface features can weaken while the broader gist survives. You may lose the precise arrangement of an image while retaining what kind of image it was, or forget the wording of a sentence while keeping what it meant. That system is useful because everyday remembering rarely requires a perfect frame-by-frame archive. It lets the past remain usable, even when some of its detail has faded. The vulnerability appears when reconstruction has to complete a gap. A detail that fits the surviving meaning can be added without arriving as an obvious guess. Once the completed version feels coherent, the added piece may be experienced as part of the original memory itself. Reconstruction explains how an absent feature can enter one person's recollection. The next question is why one plausible completion keeps defeating all the others. Semantic fit can make one completion stronger than the rest before another person says anything. In a classic 1995 experiment, participants heard lists containing words such as bed, rest, and tired. The word sleep was never presented. Later, many participants confidently remembered it anyway because it captured the meaning shared by the words that were actually there. The memory preserved the subject of the list, then supplied the clearest missing summary as though it had been one of the original items. Cultural details can shift for the same reason. An altered version may preserve the source's meaning more efficiently than its exact form. Darth Vader says, "No, I am your father," but Luke, "I am your father," identifies the exchange instantly when repeated outside the scene. The changed line is wrong as dialogue and useful as a quotation, which gives it an advantage every time the moment is compressed and retold. Semantic fit can guide separate minds toward similar errors, but conversation gives those errors another route in. One person can supply the missing detail for someone else. Collaborative recall experiments showed how that transfer can happen without anyone deliberately trying to rewrite another person's past. After viewing a scene, participants discussed it with a partner who casually mentioned objects that had never appeared. Later, some participants recalled those invented objects themselves, even when the partner was no longer present. The suggestion worked best when the object belonged naturally in the setting, because it could fit the scene already being reconstructed instead of competing with it. A toaster mentioned in a kitchen does not arrive marked as foreign information. It fills a plausible gap in what the viewer only partly retained. The strength of the original memory changed how easily that gap could be filled. Participants who saw the scene for only 15 seconds were more vulnerable to the partner's false details than those who had viewed it for 60 seconds. Social influence was not simply overpowering a complete record. It was supplying usable detail where the original encoding had left less information available to resist it. Suggestion can place the error into memory once. For a shared false version to grow, it must keep returning after the conversation ends. Once a false detail is available, repetition can make it feel less like a suggestion and more like something already known. Repeated statements become easier to process, and that fluency can be mistaken for accuracy, even when the claim has not gained any new evidence. A pre-registered study in 2020 found this illusory truth effect in 5-year-olds, 10-year-olds, and adults. The mechanism does not require sophisticated internet reasoning. Familiarity can influence judgment long before someone understands how a rumor spreads. Online, the same altered image may return as a confident post, a correction, a joke, a comparison, or an argument about why everyone remembers it. Those contexts disagree about whether the detail is true, but each one presents the detail again. Over time, recognition of the claim can outlast memory for where it came from or whether the original source endorsed it. The result is a strong sense of prior encounter attached to a weak source record. Repetition does not guarantee belief, but it makes an already plausible error easier to retrieve, easier to repeat, and increasingly difficult to experience as new. The internet can amplify that process, yet it still does not explain why the same false version feels natural to large groups before any single post reaches everyone. Mass agreement begins to look less impossible once the memories are no longer treated as fully independent recordings. People encounter many of the same logos, visual conventions, story patterns, product categories, quotations, and repeated paraphrases. When exact details weaken, those shared inputs leave similar gaps and make some replacements feel far more natural than others. Several people can, therefore, rebuild toward the same false detail without ever receiving it from the same person. Others may pick it up through conversation, comparison images, corrections, or repetition after the reconstruction has already begun elsewhere. Both routes can operate at once. The group does not need one original post, perfect agreement, or millions of identical private memories formed in isolation. It needs overlapping cultural material, similar expectations, and enough transmission for the most convincing version to remain visible. What looks like mass-independent testimony can therefore be convergent reconstruction, different minds using many of the same materials to produce one recognizable era. That explains how the absent cornucopia can become shared history in memory while remaining absent from the historical record. Research suggests that reactivating a memory can sometimes make it vulnerable to new information, but the boundary between retrieval and revision is not settled. In a 2021 fMRI experiment, surprising interruptions destabilized hippocampal representations of familiar videos. That instability predicted later updating and the addition of false details, showing that recall can create an opportunity for change under certain conditions. It does not mean every remembered event is rewritten each time it returns. The conditions and limits of reconsolidation remain debated. The cornucopia can remain vivid, specific, and completely sincere, while still belonging to the remembered version rather than the registered logo. "I remember it" describes an honest experience, therefore it happened, makes a historical claim that memory alone cannot verify. Memory remains useful because it preserves meaning, incorporates new information, and guides action, but confidence is not a certificate of the past.